Hey everyone, welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music, and we're going to talk about some different albums that we're listening to. Right now we're going through the staff pick list on consequenceofsound.net for their 100 greatest albums of all time. This time we're talking about number 67 on the list, Leonard Cohen's Songs of Leonard Cohen. So, fair warning, we use coarse language, say offensive shit, so that's out there. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
So what's going on, man?
Oh, not a lot. We just finally got kids back, so we've been doing that. That's fun. Yeah, that was fun. So the first day we had our 7th graders come back, somebody had COVID.
And
they came on campus, so that was fun. And yeah, and so everything was okay. Nothing major. Nothing crazy. Everything was fine. It was just kind of a scare. And then yesterday and today, we had our first test, and about 50 fucking kids didn't take it. So I've spent the last 2 days calling like 20 fucking different parents, telling them, "Hey, your fucking kid didn't take the test. Get them to take this fucking test."
Right. Yeah.
So that was my evening for the last 2 evenings. Calling like 30 fucking people a night. Yeah. You know how much I love talking on the phone.
Yeah. No shit.
But it's alright. Everything's so fine, I guess. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Just fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
What about you, bub?
Well, I can understand your frustration. So last week, I spent Monday through Thursday down in Alpine fixing a problem that we had down there, because we had the whole park went offline and we had to get a repair done, and like that means bringing in a contractor and all this blah, blah, blah. Came back yesterday. Well, I came back last Thursday evening. Got home, ate, played some video games, went to bed, Yesterday, my techs down there were doing their rounds, and they saw one of the units was turned off, like it had faulted out, and we hadn't been alarmed. So our SCADA system didn't catch it. So they went to isolate it, like turn off the transformer and turn off the AC switch and turn off the DC switches. And when they did, fucking shit started arcing inside of it and burning. So they ran around and turned off all sources of voltage from all the different panels, because like you have like a string of panels that comes into what's called a combiner box that combines all the strings, and then those and then there's like 12 or 14 or whatever of those, and those all send cables to this skid, which then converts it to AC power and sends it to the main yard. So they're running around shutting off all the sources of voltage, and it put itself out, which is awesome, because we've had a bunch of these things burn to the ground. And when they burn to the ground like that, there's no amount of investigation you can do to find out where it started, because the electrical fires like that burn so crazy intense that it just disintegrates every fucking thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that they caught it as it was starting, and were able to get it, and we're able to get rid of all the voltage so that it put itself out, means that we can actually, the silver lining is we can actually find the cause of this thing. But that also meant that this happened yesterday morning, first thing in the morning, so that also meant that after lunch I had to fucking drive down there and spend the night so I could help them isolate it, and then from like the rest of the park, and then get inside of it and take pictures and shit. So that site is a black hole, man. It just keeps sucking you back in. There's so many problems. So it was like all I wanted to do was be home and work on guitars. So yeah, like, and especially because I'm also going to Dallas on Sunday and spending a week there for a training. And I'm just like, fuck, can I spend a whole week at home? Like, apparently not.
I want my own bed. I want my pajamas. I want to jerk off in my fucking bathroom. I want to,
right, yeah.
I want my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, plus I really want to finish this guitar I'm building, because, I mean, by the time this comes out, the news will probably be 3+ weeks old, but Eddie Van Halen died, and he was like a huge innovator and inventor, and like held different patents for different guitar technology. I don't think any of them have ever really caught on, but I don't know specifically what they were, except for I know there was one that was like a kickstand so that he could tap easier, which didn't really take hold in the industry, but like, listening to different songs, like he's one of the people that really put like the tapping technique on the scene. I don't know if he was the first to do it, probably not, but it doesn't matter. He kind of like made it famous, or is one of the people that made it famous. He's like, I know at least for me, was like the first virtuoso guitar player I had ever heard. And like, he used like a drill to get certain sounds. And again, not sure if he's the first person to ever do it, but if you listen to the intro of Pound Cake, you hear that. And so, it's like hearing different stories about him and over the last couple of weeks and revisiting some of those albums. Just, because, he died, and it makes you think about him, and it makes you think about his career and all that stuff. So I wanted to build a guitar, and in the spirit of Van Halen, who plays guitar really fast, I'm trying to do it as fast as I can. I'd really like to get it done by, like, this weekend, but, having to leave for a week at a time just doesn't really bode well for that. But yeah, I don't know. That's how my shit's going.
Yeah, boo. Yeah, for sure. I heard about it and I was like, whoa, man. Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, he had been battling cancer for a while.
I knew he had cancer like a while ago, but I didn't know like how bad it was or if he ever got over it or I guess not.
No. And it started in his mouth and traveled into his throat, from what I understand. And it finally just took hold, and I mean, it was probably a couple of shitty years leading up to his death, so it's probably better, that he's not in constant pain and sorrow all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was, but it still sucks to lose one of your inspirations. Like, dude was my mom's age, so like that's also scary. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and I mean,
sure.
I can look over and I've got one of the original 5150s, which is his signature amplifier. That Chris gave me for Christmas like ages and ages ago. I must have been like 16. But I was like super into Van Halen, and Chris had the amp, and I was playing it a bunch, and not that I'm any worth a shit, but I was playing it a bunch, and I was like, man, this is really cool, and then he gave it to me for Christmas, which was awesome, and I've had it ever since. And it doesn't really suit my style too much, but I've never felt like the need or desire to sell it because, one, it's never been worth like a lot of money. It's just kind of held its value.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, it's sentimental because, you know, my brother gave it to me, and it's a really cool amp, and it's, you know, I think it was, he did this in partnership with Peavey to make the original 5150s, but I think they're based off of heavily modified Marshall amps. Like, I think was where he started. But again, I don't know, as I haven't done enough real research to know that. It's just stuff that I think I remember hearing over the past, you know, decade and a half, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I don't know. I mean, like, my life is great. It's just a little frustrating.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I know the feeling. Sorry. Yeah. So, I had to call these fucking kids today.
Yeah.
And I called this one dude, or this one lady. This kid is a fucking moron. He's just a fucking moron. And, well, she took him to the doctor, and he had COVID-like symptoms and waiting on results. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, of course he does. She didn't say COVID. She said, you know that virus that's going around there everybody's getting? I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. People are dumb. And, yeah. That, you know, that's part of the reason I still don't think schools should be open. I get it. It's frustrating for parents, but fuck, man. Give this thing a chance to die out.
Yeah, for sure.
But, nah.
It's just been, it's just been a fucking, it's been a roller coaster, this whole fucking coming back and fucking freaking out, then not freaking out, then freaking out, then not freaking out.
Yeah.
My fucking nerves are kind of getting shot.
Yeah. Well,
and it's real. Like, it really sucks because the way we have to do things is very different, and like, it's just a fucking pain in the ass. Like, every day, I have to sit in my room for like with one fucking group of kids. Like on Monday, one group of kids on Monday and Wednesday, and then one group of kids on Tuesday, Thursday, and then every other Friday. But they're in my fucking classroom for like 3 fucking hours.
Right.
Because like we have normal class, and then we have to do 4 different lunches. So each at each a half an hour. So they like sit in my room for like fucking forever, and then they go eat lunch, and they have to come back for another half hour. It's just a fucking pain. It's cool because I get a lot of shit done, which is nice. I get a whole block of time to get all my shit together, but it's just like there's just a lot of fucking wasted time. Like we don't start class till 9. And the kids get there at like fucking 7:45 or 8, and so they get sent to our classrooms at like 8:15, and they would just fucking sit there for 45 minutes. So that's like 45 minutes every day that they just wasted fucking time. And then we have the 2 hours where, you know, you try to do something with them, but like, fuck, what are you gonna do? I mean, I can't make a fucking 2 hour long lesson, man. I lose them at like 20, 30 minutes. I can't do. I can't swing those 2 fucking hours.
Yeah.
It's just, just a fucking. It's a pain. It's a pain. Yeah. Anywho, so that's been the speed of things. So, you want to get into Leonard Cohen?
Not terribly.
Not terribly. Oh man, I didn't even look up.
Man, honestly, like, I last Thursday when we were planning on recording, I was driving home, and so I listened to this album once, and then I switched it over to Van Halen and fucking cranked it and listened to that the rest of the way home. And today, driving home, I listened to this album once, and then I switched it over to Van Halen and listened to that for the rest of the 2 hours. 'Cause, you know, like, fuck, man, that's, you know, it's been on my mind a lot. So, like, I'm trying to go through his discography again. especially with some of the stuff that I'm less familiar with. But I mean, I'd have to ask my brother because I probably got handed down from him. But I think I had 1984 on cassette tape.
Oh, I did too. I had that. That was the first tape in my car.
Yeah. So like, and the reason I'm pretty sure it's that one is because, I'm pretty sure that's the first time I heard "Hot for Teacher" was listening to that cassette tape.
Oh.
Because that's a great song and it fucking blew my mind. So yeah, like, which, I'm sure a lot of like hardcore Van Halen fans would be like not super happy, but that's probably my favorite song by Van Halen. That or maybe even like Ice Cream Man from the first album.
I do like that song. That's a fun song.
Right? Dude, it's really so much fun. It's so much fun.
It's such a doo-woppy fun song. I dig it.
I know. Like, and because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Eruption's great. Running with the Devil, talking about love, fucking all these songs are awesome, right? Excuse me, Jesus Christ! Like Jump and Panama and all that stuff. It's great. But I think Ice Cream Man and Hot for Teacher are probably my favorites.
Just the drums, dude. That's a fucking and then the guitar run, like that's fucking. It's such a cool open, and then it kind of breaks down like like it's such a fucking. It's a rush, man. I dig it.
Yeah, man. I do too.
And I love the video where they're doing the fucking like the like fucking old like Four Tops like the Temptations like dressed all similarly and they're doing the steps and all that shit. That's fucking neat.
Yeah, and it's like, man, it's like, honestly, it reminds me a lot of ZZ Top in that moment.
Yeah,
that little guitar riff and like that kind of Four Tops looking thing, like because ZZ Top does that kind of goofy shit too, where they're like swinging together and shit.
Yeah, and then like LaGrange, you can hear that kind of that tone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar. It's in the same vein for sure. That one guitar riff, but yeah, and so like, I don't know. I don't know if those are if you're pretty much in the same boat as me as far as like favorite albums, favorite songs, but
oh yeah, I think we're very much in tune for sure.
Yeah, and I mean
yeah. Atomic Punk is just a great song, right?
I mean, it's not a bad song, but
it's a fight. That's the weirdest one on that fucking album. I remember I had that one too. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Such a weird fucking cocaine fueled song.
Yeah, but I mean, it at that time, yeah, it probably was very cocaine fueled. But yeah, I don't know. I was lucky enough to see Van Halen twice, and both times it was with Diamond Dave.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun watching that, and I'm assuming it was both times, but I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure his son Wolfgang was playing bass at least one of those shows, if not both. Because that's who his bass player was. Once his son was old enough to like join in, he fucking did, and hell, even the EVH guitars when he came out with his own brand, the first model was the Wolfgang. So like, he was definitely like a family man. At least later in life, once he had his kid. But cool stuff, man. Super cool artist. And yeah, just like it's somebody that was definitely a huge inspiration. Like even me being like more of a blues guy, and this is music I grew up with. Man, this was super. He was an inspiration, and not just to me, but to like a few generations.
For sure. That's cool that you got to see him. Like, I remember my dad, when we saw the Eagles, we saw the Eagles one year, and later that summer, I think it was David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar were touring together, just those two.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And we were going to go, but I think it got canceled at the last minute or something. I don't remember what happened. I think there was a hurricane and they had to skip the show or something. I don't know. I don't know. We're in Louisiana. It's probably a fucking hurricane. But for some reason it got canceled at the last minute. And I was like, oh, I wanted to go see Diamond Dave. I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And I think for a couple of shows, Van Halen was actually going to play with him. And I think a couple of years later they did the whole everybody together tour.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't remember. Like I said, the two shows I saw were with David Lee Roth, so I don't know. I've never seen Sammy Hagar, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. You know what I mean? If he's there, that's cool. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah, but I mean, most people's favorite stuff is from the Roth era.
Oh, for sure.
Although the album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, which is where you have God damn it, I just said it a minute ago. The song with the drill. Fuck, what was it? Pound Cake.
Pound Cake.
So like that's a Hagar album that's huge. But yeah, I don't know. I think most people prefer David Lee Roth, but I don't care, man. It's cool either way in my book.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah,
so.
I know it's super late, or this album's coming out super late, but still wanted to gush about Van Halen with somebody.
No, for sure, and you're with the right person.
Plus, I don't really want to talk that much about Leonard Cohen.
There's some stuff in here, it's fine. We're here. This is what we're doing. We signed up for this shit, so here we go.
We did.
Yeah, so here we go. So, The Songs of Leonard Cohen is the debut album by Canadian folk singer-songwriter Leonard Cohen, released on December 27th, 1967. Reached number 83.
Good year, yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, 1967.
Yeah, good year.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I had a 67 pickup truck. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. So, if you listen to this album, he's very folksy, very, a lot of, like, Jesus and Christian and Buddhist overtones. There's a lot of, like, religious overtones in this, for sure. One thing that I did like that he does really well is the music is really pretty. Like, there's a lot of, like, cool strumming and finger picking and, like... I think that's cool.
His finger picking technique is on fucking point. I will say that. Like, these songs are very pretty. It's not an album I'm really going to go back to if I'm playing my hand early, but but I mean, there is some interesting stuff in here, and there are some fun rhythms that he puts together.
For sure. And it's really, I mean, it's really heady, like very cerebral kind of think, like writing and
he talks in metaphors a lot too.
Yeah, for sure. It's very it's very artsy fartsy for sure.
Yeah.
He uses the word body a lot, kind of like when we saw what we heard with when what's his fuck with not the Clash, Morrissey. Oh my God. Morrissey and That fucking band with the reel around the fountain. I should have written it down.
I don't fucking remember, dude.
I can't remember. The Cure, not the Cure.
The
Not the
Cure?
Cure.
No,
not the Cure.
Refused? No.
No, the one we did not too long ago. It had the one. The Smiths. The Smiths.
The Smiths. Okay.
Where he uses when Morrissey would use the word sacred all the time, he used the word body. Like body is in every my perfect body, his body, the body. Like he says body all the fucking time. Like that's his go-to word.
Yeah.
But there's some fun stuff.
Okay, what are your highlights?
But I did like The Master. I think that's a fun song. It's very...
Okay. Yeah, it does. Right.
And, it's about like two people in love, but there's the master who the woman is, and he has her like subserviently, kind of a subservient thing.
Yeah.
And there's one who talks about like the apple and the core. He talks, basically referring to like Adam and Eve, and then the core being like the heart of something, and then something about he had you by the golden string, and that's kind of that subservient, like
right,
like being owned by somebody, but having a life of luxury or something like that. And then there's like a lot of kind of, I wouldn't say a cult, but like culty talks and like the stoned archways and things like that. There's a lot of weird shit in there, but it's a neat song.
Yeah. And a lot of these are long, man. A lot of them are
pretty long for sure. And,
like,
and,
we're in the 4 to 6 minute range on several of these. Like probably half the album at least.
Yeah, for sure. This is. I mean, there's only 10 songs, which is. I mean, it's not a chore or anything like that. It's not a bad chore.
It still only clocks in at about 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah, like 46 and some change or something like that.
Yeah,
for sure. And but the songs are kind of on that longer side for sure. But I thought that one was neat. I did like the kind of imagery that he uses there, and like kind of relating it to religion and things like that.
Right.
And that was fun. And like I said, that fucking beautiful guitar picking he does is... I think there's only one other song where he does it better.
Okay.
And let's see, which one? Oh, the Stranger. That was a fun song about the gambler.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I did too. I liked this one. I like this one too. But there's something in here that just, man, I get it. I'm super juvenile and I'm a child, and that's probably why this is funny to me. But he and like, I know this is all like super religious, and he was just some Joseph looking for a manger, blah blah blah. But there's a line that's repeated several times. I told you when I came, I was a stranger. And
I know.
And like all I could think of was fucking Joe Dirt. I'm your sister. Like, that's his line? I'm your stranger. I'm a stranger. Like, that's all that I could think of. Like, so yeah, this was a highlight for me too.
For sure. I was thinking more of the move, the stranger, where you tie something around your arm till it goes numb and then you jerk off. So it feels like somebody else is doing it.
Yeah.
I thought that was I don't know.
Yeah,
that's where I went. That's where I went. You know, I also went juvenile for sure. Yeah. I went there. Like, I got that.
So that's why it was such a highlight for me.
Yeah. I did like. This is actually a cover by a lady named Ann Scott.
Oh, really?
The song is actually about a movie. There was a movie called The Man with the Golden Arm, and it's about this gambler, and it's kind of a metaphor for like their relationship. Like, you know, how he treats her and that kind of stuff. The gambler.
Right.
But he said he gambled he bet for somewhere to stay or something like that, or gambled to stay. I don't know.
Okay.
Something like that. That was neat. Sisters of Mercy was fun. It sounded like it had those like church bell, like the bells. You ever like been to church and they have like the they ring the bell thing?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, dog. I'm Catholic. That shit's like super all over the place.
Oh, dude, like it was like a treat when they did it at church. I was like, oh my god, they're bringing out the bells! Fuck yeah! Like that was my favorite. I loved it when they did that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool, and it kind of reminded me of like a clockwork fucking toy. It had that kind of sound to it.
Okay. Sure,
and
yeah.
It had like the flutes and pipes and stuff. Like it just made me think of like those old cuckoo clocks where like you know they had shit happen. Like you know what I mean. Like the dudes would hammer and like the all that extra shit.
Right.
I don't know, it just made me think of that. I thought that was neat. It was a really fun thing. Let's see. Oh, Teachers. That one had the best guitar. I think that one had the best guitar of all of them.
Yeah, that was gonna. If you didn't say it, I was going to as a highlight for me because I thought this was a really good song too.
Yeah, it was really, and it was there's a lot of imagery about love and losing love and being without it and things like that, which
and
is
searching
and
learning,
the pining.
like and like like he's worn out by the end, asking, are my lessons done? And they just laughed and said, well, child, are your lessons done?
Are your lessons done? Are you done? Yeah, like when like that shit your teacher would pull. Like,
yeah.
am I done? Are you done?
Yeah.
Let me go back. God damn it. Am I done? Are you done?
Yeah, this was definitely a highlight for me too.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
I'm trying to think of others. There's one or two of these.
I did like "So Long, Marianne." I thought that was it was more of a happier song.
Sure, it didn't really do much to me. For me,
yeah. It was about a friend of his ex-wife that he kind of lived with for a while, and he said that she was just one of those people who was like a muse, and so he wrote a number of songs by her influence.
Okay,
and this one being one of them.
Okay,
so that was fun. I like that.
I liked. I also thought "One of Us Cannot Be Wrong" was pretty good.
I did too, but I liked it for like a darker way because I thought it was like a poisonous person, like a you know what I mean? Like,
sure, yeah,
like somebody.
Well,
who's just
because it's like,
cancer.
it kind of talks about like how everybody is literally dying for this woman's love, and they die in the process. Like, is kind of the metaphor he keeps using for all of the verses there. So yeah, I think definitely a toxic person is
like a siren or something,
right? So, but that I thought was an interesting song nonetheless. Yeah, I think we've kind of gone over my highlights because you named a few of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of just.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like, and to be clear, there's like, it's not like this album is bad. It just doesn't appeal to me. For sure.
And I dig it because it has a lot of like, I don't know, it's very singer-songwritery. But it's in a different, like it's just a whole different style. Kind of like what we saw with like Tea for the Tillerman, how that was very singer-songwritery.
Right.
And kind of like Neil Young Harvest.
Right.
But it has a lot of like these classics, like these classical sounds or these like antiquated sounds into it, which I kind of dug. I don't know. It just, for me, I liked it.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, his finger picking and his rhythm technique here is really good. So there is a lot of good here. He's a good storyteller. He uses metaphor exceptionally well in some places, and I don't think I came across one where I was like, oh, that's really fucking stupid. So I think he writes very well. I think he puts rhythm together very well. And he makes music it's very easy to listen to. I think is how I would categorize this. Like, it's folky, it's Jesus-y, it's super mellow and easy to listen to, and this is something that like you could put on in the background while you're concentrating on something, and the music wouldn't be distracting. I mean, that's not the music I'm going to use.
It's a good album to grade papers to, which is what I did.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But
142 of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, not wouldn't be my go-to music for that, but hey, it is very good for that. And if you're into this kind of music, if you're into the Christian singer-songwriters, this is probably amazing.
I wouldn't call him Christian per se. Like, I wouldn't say he's like preaching the word. I think he just uses a lot of the Bible.
Yeah, I guess you're right. He's not really preaching, but he does reference, like, man, there's a lot of religious overtones.
For sure. But you got to think, man, like, he was born in like the 40s, 30s. So I'm sure like religion was like had to be like you read the Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's what you learned to read in school, like the Bible.
Right. Yeah, I get that. But I mean, we also have Led Zeppelin in the 60s.
That's also true. That's also true.
You're right. We have Jimi Hendrix in the 60s. We have the Beatles. We have Elvis. We have, so like.
There's other things.
There's a lot more music that I associate myself with than this stuff, and I mean, it's fine. It's really good for what it for its genre. It's great. It's just not. Yeah. It just doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, it's kind of in that vein, like the Gordon Lightfoot, maybe like a Buffalo Springfield type.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. I dig. Yeah, it's fine, but it's it is very. There's not a lot of pop to it.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other highlights?
Oh, I was just going to mention one thing, only because when I was doing research, it was brought up that in the first song, Suzanne.
Yeah.
It's about he had met this lady, and she was the wife of a painter and a sculptor, and they talk about like he kind of like idealizes her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then that made me think of like the theory of forms. Like Plato, he wrote about like the theory of forms, and that's basically that the most perfect of anything is it can only be imagined,
right?
Because nothing's perfect. So like, so when he talks about when he touches your body with his mind or something like that,
right?
That made me think of like Plato's forms and how like that the most perfect of anything can only be imagined or in your own mind.
Sure.
So when he mentioned that was like, oh fuck, that's very Plato. That's very Platonic to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. I thought that was neat that he kind of went that deep with it. Yeah. Maybe he did. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but I mean, looking back, I was like, oh shit.
I mean, it's very plausible. I don't know how much philosophy was taught in Canadian public schools in the 50s, but
I don't know. Probably more so than now.
Yeah. Well,
I bring it up every now and again, and they look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I did that whole. But I tried to do that cat trick the other day. Like, you've never seen a cat, and then talking about how what makes up a cat? What does a cat look like? Well, there's not a real cat. That's just an idealized version of a cat, and because of that, these things. Not all cats have claws or tails or whatever.
Right.
So what you're thinking of is like it's a category of some sort. It's a form.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, you're stupid. I'm going back to playing Call of Duty. Fucking guy.
I swear to God, you'll be way more into this if y'all just smoke a bunch of weed real quick.
Well,
yeah, I mean, don't
some already are. Some already are.
Yeah.
And they don't Anyway, beyond that, not much else really. There's nothing really, nothing else that I did like the Oregon stuff and stories of the street. I thought that was fun. That was fine.
Right. Yeah.
That was pretty neat. I don't know. I didn't really like Winter Lady or Hey, That's No Way to Say Goodbye.
Okay, so that's
Winter Lady did have that like chamber sound that I kind of like.
Sure, I don't remember a whole lot about it.
Yeah, that was probably my peace song is Winter Lady.
Okay, do you have any other lowlights?
That's about it. I'd say the just Stories of the Street and Hey, No Way to Say Goodbye and Winter Lady are those are just kind of the ones that you can.
Sure, yeah. I honestly, I don't remember. I'm looking at the Genius list, the track list, and it shows 12 tracks, but I only remember 10. So, those last two must be those last two must be like, I don't know, fucking one-offs or something. I don't know.
Maybe, I'm not sure, because you know what I noticed on Spotify the other day I was listening to the Constellations.
Okay.
And they didn't have the Love Is a Murder remix. Like they had the
regular song,
like they had the upbeat one, but they didn't have like the reverse one where it was like that downbeat. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? They don't have this one? I guess it might have been maybe they used an artist that I don't know. I was weird. I was like,
that is weird
because not on here. Like that's a cool part of that album.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on like the CD. I didn't buy the CD, but I probably purchased it in some format. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bought it on iTunes, and I remember having it. And then like it's weird that I went on Spotify and it went there. I was like, why the fuck is that particular song? Maybe maybe it was somebody's production. Maybe CeeLo had the rights to it, and then
maybe
it didn't go on there. Or I don't know what the fuck.
I don't
happened.
know, but I remember being able to find it all. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the better version of the song, in my opinion.
I just like that it has that happy, like it's the same song, but you just turn it on its head. It goes from happy to fun, and then to like that. There's just the tonal change makes the whole song like completely, like the words of the song completely fucking different.
Yeah,
like it's the optimistic versus pessimistic view of it.
Right.
Which I thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a really neat take on the song. I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to look into that and see if we can find it somewhere. I mean, I'm sure you have it on iTunes, but
yeah, I have it on iTunes for sure. But it was just weird that it wasn't fucking on there.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? That's weird. Oh, weird. Anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I got to say about Cohen. It's good. Give it a listen. It's worth giving it a listen because it is really pretty music.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna stay there. Like, I'd visit, but I'm not gonna spend the night. You know?
Yeah. I'm kind of in that same boat. In that same boat. Now that we've done highlights and lowlights, you want to do top threes?
Sure, go for it. What's your three?
I'm gonna say my number 3 is let's go with One of Us Cannot Be Wrong. I'll put that at number 3.
Yeah, that's a good number 3. I like that one.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting song. Something that I think is relatable to an extent. We talked about that toxic person that people are killing themselves over. And I think everybody, I think you come across those kinds of people, in life in general, whether it's a relationship or like a boss or or whatever, like somebody that you're fucking killing yourself to try to please.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's relatable to a certain degree. And you kind of grow out of that kind of attitude in life, or at least hopefully you do. Just because, that's not healthy, and you hopefully learn to not get into those kinds of situations. But still, reminds you of a time in life when you had to grow out of that kind of thing.
For sure.
What about you, man? What's your number 3?
I'd have to say that my number 3 is probably going to be Teachers.
Okay.
I just think the guitar is phenomenal in that song. I think he does a fucking really good job with that song.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. What about your number 2?
Well, speaking of Teachers, I'm going to put that as my number 2.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Same reason?
Yeah, same reasons. I thought that. I also thought it was just a really. I thought it was a really well told story. Also.
Yeah, for sure.
So, in addition to the guitar part being just gorgeous, I thought it was a. I thought it was a well told story. So, yeah, number 2. What about you?
Oh, that's a question. I'm between 2, but I think I'm gonna go with Sisters of Mercy. I think that's just a really pretty song, and I like the church bells and the sound of it all. It was really neat.
Sure. Okay.
Very churchy. What about your number 1? What's the song? What's the pick of the litter?
I'm gonna go with the Stranger song.
Stranger. Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was fun, and also it made me think of Joe Dirt, and so
don't be stupid.
It is dumb, but whatever, man.
Enough said. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
what's your number 1, my man?
I'd have to go with The Master.
Okay.
I think it's just a fucking weird song, and it's. I don't know. There's so much to it. There's so much to unpack in that song.
Yeah.
It's very, very fucking weird. And I think it leaves a lot to kind of your own interpretation and what you imagine it to be and things like that. So I really dig that one.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess the last thing that we normally do is between Slanted and Enchanted and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, where do you rate this?
I don't know. I'd probably put it just under Wish You Were Here.
Oh, okay. All right. So just missed your upper half.
Yeah, just outside the top half.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
What about you?
Man, I'm probably somewhere around like Downward Spiral, Fear of Music, Either Or, Imagine, kind of that lower, kind of like the middle of the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
I honestly think it's a better album than that. It's just not for me. It's not something I'm going to come back to. Whereas, like I heard, in recently I was listening to just a Spotify made for you playlist, and The Refused came on, and I was like, oh, I remember this. This was fun. Refused still made it in my bottom half, but it was something that I wasn't, I wasn't Well, I'm pissed off to revisit this.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be for this either, but I think I was more excited to hear The Refused than I would be to hear this come on one of those mixes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put it a little lower than that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Any final thoughts?
Not really, man. I mean, it's good. I just, there's not, it's just like, it's really good, but there's just not, there's no pizzazz, you know what I mean? Like, nothing really, like, hit me out of left field. Like, nothing hit me sideways. Nothing really surprised me. It was just kind of good and even keel. I mean, it was really deep and thought-provoking, which I like, but I mean, his finger picking, like, his sound was really good. It's just, I don't know, it felt like a little lackluster, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I mean, it's good, but it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the rare short episode, everybody. Normally we babble on for like an hour and a half. This one, I don't even know if it's going to hit an hour after editing. But it is what it is. I mean, we talked about what we needed to.
Yeah, I feel like my body and mind feel like this album right now. I'm just kind of like, brrr. It's like very low energy.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, it's one of those things that, like, give it a listen. I mean, it is good, and if you're into that kind of folky singer-songwriter thing, this is probably great for you. Just not really. Just didn't hit all the right buttons for us.
Yeah.
So that was Leonard Cohen, Songs of Leonard Cohen. Next on the list that we'll be talking about is Devo, Duty Now for the Future.
Have you listened to a Devo album before?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
So
I do remember that that at the Garner dances at Garner State Park, they had a jukebox, and one time we put Devo with it on like 12 times in a row and then left. Just to be asshole.
Yeah. So, you know, it's I'm looking at the album art on the list, and it's got a parental advisory explicit content warning sticker on it, so you know that might be fun.
That sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. So
It's
there's
been a while
that.
since we saw one of those.
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. I would think maybe on Miseducation, but at the same time, it's not. I'm looking at the list, and it might just be the particular album art that they picked, because like I know for sure Blood Sugar Sex Magic would have had one of those stickers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I was looking through the list. Yeah,
but
Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Maybe Rain Dogs.
But the album.
I don't remember a lot of cursing in Rain Dogs though.
But like the album art they picked for Red Hot Chili Peppers doesn't have that sticker on it, so you know, maybe they just couldn't find one without the sticker for the list. Who knows?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. We'll see how explicit it gets. But anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify. We have a website at sadpandapresents.com. There's not much there, but whatever. You can also find us at facebook.com/sadpandapresentspodcast. Check us out there. Reach out to us if you want to, like, shoot the shit or suggest an album or something like that. We've got a couple to get through, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah. So, yeah. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what you think about the album. If you have suggestions or whatever, you can let us know. We might listen.
Not our forte.
No, but we're pretty good about talking to people if they reach out. For at least a little bit.
Anyway. Alright, well, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you again next time.
All right, later, everybody.
Bye.